The letter was written to the head of IHMS, to the IHMS organisation. That is a matter that has been being interrogated by IHMS together with my department to determine the veracity of the claims that have been made in that letter, whether there are issues within that letter that require attention, then naturally they will receive that attention, but there is a considerable amount of dispute regarding the issues raised in that letter by IHMS and the department, and they will report to me in due course about the matters that require attention.
The Minister at his press conference said nothing. That's despite the fact that Guardian Australia has reported the most remarkable single document that has ever come out of the medical arm of the Immigration Detention Network. A letter of concerns written by 15 doctors who've worked on Christmas Island that charts really disgraceful and worrying lapses in standards and outcomes of harm, distress, lack of dignity, poor treatment and risk that detainees are being put through because of the policies of this government, because of the isolation of Christmas Island, because of the conditions to which they're sent for offshore processing in Manus and Nauru. Now, The Guardian published an extended report of that letter of concerns, and 4 or 5 hours later, the Minister for Immigration, Scott Morrison, held his weekly press conference. We went down there expecting some answers, and he gave none. These are doctors, 15 doctors working on Christmas Island who have conducted these health assessments. They are doctors with Australian qualifications, the right to practice here, they're experienced doctors. Do you take seriously their account of medicine as it is practiced on Christmas Island? Do you take it seriously, or are you in fact simply dismissing what they have to say about their experience on Christmas Island?
Well, I don't think anything I've said today, David, could lead you to your last conclusion. I don't think anything I've said could lead you to that conclusion. The claims that have been raised are being assessed by IHMS and my department.
Is your position today that you are going to discuss nothing that was raised by those doctors in that report? Is that your position?
David, because it's being properly reviewed through an appropriate process, I'm going to wait for that process to conclude before I start venturing opinions on it.
He refused to address any of the details of the report at all. He placed all of the responsibility on the International Health and Medical Service, which is the contractor employing the doctors that provide the medical services on Christmas Island. It was their responsibility to investigate it. He wasn't going to comment on anything until that investigation is completed. Christmas is around the corner. He has not given a date when he will next front the cameras. Weeks and weeks away. He did say that he has not read the report, not seen the report, not held the report in his hands. He's not, the word he used was, he's not received it. His department has had it for a fortnight. He did make it clear that his department was taking the report seriously. We know that the International Health and Medical Service is taking the report of those doctors very seriously indeed. But though his department has had that report for a fortnight, though it is detailed, calm, forensic and careful, the Minister would not say anything at all about what that report said. Minister, it would be the work only of a couple of hours to determine whether a number of the case studies referred to by the doctors of people who, in the medical view, ought not to be in immigration detention are in fact in immigration detention. Has anybody been, in the 2 or 3 weeks that this report has been around, has anybody been removed from immigration detention or transferred for treatment to the mainland of Australia because of the doctor's report?
I'd have to come back to you on that, David, but I don't necessarily agree with the presumption in the start of your question. We've had about, I think, half a dozen questions from The Guardian today. We might take a... Calm down. I'll take a few others and then I'll come back to you. Yeah.